I'm not looking to troll people.
We're not.
Jared Goff did the talking.
No,
I was never looking.
Just like wearing this shirt.
He did what I expected. Yes, 5 touchdowns is more than he's thrown, I think, as a Lion, but he did what I expected to him. And this may be a controversial take. He played better than he has, better than that Bears game, but it's not like he did anything extraordinarily better. Just things fell in place a little bit better. The game plan was better. Opening up J-Mo early on in the game, although there were 3 straight punts in the first quarter, what'd that do for the rest of the game? That middle of the field was open. The Jahmyr Gibbs touchdown, a little diamond route out of the backfield, wide open. Jared Goff threw it perfectly in stride. Phenomenal ball placement for Jahmyr Gibbs to catch it pretty open in the middle of the field for a touchdown. Same with Amon-Ra St. Brown. Hit him right in the middle of the field because J-Mo and Patrick Surtain were on the outside battling, and there was more space, more stuff. That's the value of even just targeting him. The 4 catches were awesome, and he made some great catches. He made some great moves after the catch, but those 7 targets are everything. It changes everything that the defensive coordinator has to prepare for, and then you pair that up with how Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery were running. Game over. There's no team that can beat him. Yes, Jared Goff needs everyone, needs all these pieces around him, and he had them, and they put up 42. I love it. He did what he was supposed to do. Everyone else stepped up. It was a really fun night on offense.
Yeah, and that's a conversation I want to have. Is the conversation the last 4 weeks in this slump has been Jared Goff. And has been kind of where does he land on this radar. I think a lot of people, and this is the kind of the argument that's been going around, and people have been going at it, it feels like, and it's been separating this fan base one day at a time. And I don't like what it's doing to people because when you look at it, like, we can all agree, right? Jared Goff had a bad 4 weeks of football.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I wouldn't say bad 4 weeks. He had a bad 3 weeks in the last 4 weeks because versus New Orleans, he didn't have any turnovers, played a solid game.
Yeah.
But those 3 games that he had where he had 9 turnovers, the issue. And I think that's very, very
we never denied that.
But outside of those 3 weeks, when you look at a game like Saturday, it shows the potential of what he can do when he has the right pieces around him. When he has the offensive line that's healthy, which is when you have the running backs that you have, the receivers that you have, the coordinator that you have, the head coach that you have. And then at the other side, you saw it as well. Aaron Glenn's defense is doing what they're doing, and they're able to help you out. We've seen this offense do that behind Jared Goff, not just like this 3-game stretch that he had with all those turnovers. I think the 19 other wins that he has had where I don't know how many times in those 19 wins they've scored over 30 points, but there's a handful there.
Probably at least 13.
Yes, and since this 24-game stretch of football that this Lions team has looked like one of the best teams in football every single week, they've been a top 5 offense. Right now, they're currently 3rd in the NFL in offense. They're 3rd in pass. And that's the thing. It's like, oh, he can't pass. They're 3rd in the NFL in passing offense. He's 3rd in yards per game. He's 3rd in touchdowns per game. They're 3rd in total offense. They're 5th in total points per game. This whole year. This isn't like, hey, they just did this on Saturday. No, this offense has been doing this all year. And even when they struggled the last 3 or 4 weeks, they've still put numbers up. They've just had turnovers with it. And that's the thing I think a lot of people start to overweigh is like, oh, let's take this 3-game stretch as a sample size and say this is what Jared Goff and this offense really is. Because it's not. Because we've seen for the last 24 games, this offense has been a top 5 offense in the NFL. And you could say, oh, yeah, it's Ben Johnson, it's this, it's that. Go tell me a quarterback, and yes, like I think Jared Goff, to be honest, he's not a top 5 quarterback in the NFL.
No.
What the stats may show it, he's not top 5. He's not top 7. He's probably at 8 to 12 range. But go show me another quarterback in that range that doesn't need an OC, that doesn't need an offensive line, that doesn't need a running back, that doesn't need receivers, that can go out there without any Pro Bowl guys and go win football games besides Patrick Mahomes. Because that's just not a real. You're being unrealistic here. And then if you want to start talking money and $50 million, that's for the birds. The money right now is for the birds.
It's just a totally different conversation.
It is, and you have him for another year. And if you add him on, I guarantee you, I can look in the eyes and guarantee you, that man's not going to sign a $50 million contract. He knows what it is. He knows this is where he's going to win and spend the rest of his career. So these conversations that are being had, I think Saturday showed that you need to put a little bit of respect on his name. Taylor Decker spoke about it after the game. Dan Campbell spoke about it after the game. C.J. Garner-Johnson's been tweeting about it for about a week now. Is the disrespect that's been going on around this team, And I said it on the pregame show Saturday. It's taken away from all of us talking about this football team.
Right.
It's made this like it's made some of the fan base not even realize that you're one win away from a division title. So I think this game that you saw, it looked like an MVP performance. 5 touchdowns, and right now you're third in the league in passing yards, third in total touchdowns. Go compare his stats right now to Brock Purdy, who's in the lead. I can guarantee you he's only a couple, like maybe 100 or so yards away from passing yards, and he's maybe a couple touchdowns away, and he's only a few interceptions ahead of him. Yeah. 2 or 3 maybe.
Yeah.
So this acting like it's a up here and all the way down here thing is nuts to me,
and the
brother.
thing is, when he gets those things, when he gets time, when he gets his protection in the running, when he gets the things around him, he's about as good as anybody in the league at picking a defense apart. There are few QBs that can make better, more accurate decisions. In ball placement, I keep bringing up, that's a huge thing. Something you'll hear his teammates, the wide receivers, talk about all the time. Him keeping them out of danger, him putting the ball where they can catch it and run after the catch, which is different than accuracy. Accuracy is completion percentage and making sure you get it, in a safe place, but ball placement is almost more important.
I'm sorry. I just want Tyler Chevet in the chat. He said they haven't been doing this all year. Tyler Chevet, we are how many games in right now? 14 games.
Yes.
3 to go. You're 14 games into a season. That's a pretty big sample size, correct, brother? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
That's a big sample size.
It's almost a full season.
14 games in, you're third in the NFL in total yards. You're fourth in passing yards. You're second in rushing yards, and you're fifth in total points. Haven't been doing this all year. If you haven't been doing this all year, you wouldn't be top 5 in every single offensive category. The offense is literally top 5 in every single category right now in the NFL. We are, as Lions fans and as people in the media, there's been a 3-game bad stretch, and the overreaction from that 3-game stretch, and I get it. I'm going at some of these people, some of these guys as well on the team.